Hi, Trudy Behrman here. Welcome to week 1 of this 12-week challenge. Now today we're going to talk about the causes of your debt. What caused this debt? Now this is super important, guys, because if you do not know what brought the debt on, if you're totally clueless, then we can't fix it. You can't fix it. You can't stop it. There's nothing that you can do about it. So we really have to dig deep, clear your mind, be honest with yourself, and let's see if we can figure out what caused the debt. Now there are going to be some things that blindsided you, okay? You couldn't help it. You didn't even know it was coming. It hit you, wham. There are going to be some things that you saw coming and you couldn't stop. There's going to be some things that you directly had a hand in, okay? So regardless, you just need to be totally honest with yourself right now. If you have a partner, if you're married, or if you're in a living relationship with another earning partner, or a partner who has a say in how the money is spent, then please include them in this workshop. I'm not charging anything extra for that, but it is very important, because if you're both not on the same page and working towards the same goal, then no matter how gung-ho you are, no matter how much you give it that Boy Scout effort, it's not going to be as effective as if you do it together. So we really need to look deep and honestly into what brought on the debt that is now a burden to you. Now, there's truly some things that I cannot help you with, that you may need professional help with. For example, if you're a gambler, if you're an alcoholic, and these are personal challenges that no matter how much you feel bad about it, no matter how much you're sorry, no matter how much you really want to start over and really do better next time, I truly don't feel capable of the kind of therapy you may need, and be honest with yourself, you truly may need it, okay, to move past that hurdle and take the next positive steps. Now, I'm not telling you not to try, I'm just saying I don't think I can help you. If you feel that this is your situation, I may or may not be able to recommend some people to you. I am in the state of Florida, and most of my resources are Florida based. And if you are not in the state of Florida, while services are, generic in terms of their methodology and the education, when it comes to certain licensed professionals, they really have to operate within the state that they're licensed for. So honestly, guys, if you are in any of those situations where you need some kind, maybe you're a shopaholic, you're addicted to shopping, or whatever it is, if you have one of those challenges, then I'm going to suggest you seek out that kind of professional help alongside of doing this course or before you do this. But there are going to be some of you that will need that. Now, then there's some of you that still may need some help, but maybe, I don't know, for example, if it's not you, but your partner or your child is stealing from you, and maybe they have a drug or drinking habit. So it's not you are the problem, but there is someone in your immediate family that has access to your finances or can impact your finances, and they are the one with the problem. Here's a challenge. Again, even though you may not be the one with the addiction or that problem, you're still part of the facilitation of it, because my husband is from a family with a former alcoholic, and he went through Alcoholics Anonymous, but the families always facilitate. Somebody's picking the person up off the street, somebody's covering up for whatever the case may be, and that facilitation will also cause a problem. And I think that you may still need to seek some professional help, and that's not my area of expertise. Now, there are some situations, again, that you didn't see coming. So for example, the company that you work for, maybe even for a long time, closed down. They didn't give you any warning. You didn't, there was no writing on the wall for you, just all of a sudden you're terminated from a situation. Or you got sued, or somebody, slip and fell in your home and they're trying to sue you for, there's some things that, again, blindsided you, you never saw it coming, and you may still need some help because, for example, maybe you need a lawyer, maybe you need an accountant, maybe you need, I don't know, So we need to first assess what possibly caused the debt. Once you've been honest and you've dug deep and you've identified some of the possible things that caused the problem, then we can move forward, or we can at least know what we need to do to move forward. Now, there's some things that you directly caused, okay, or you contributed to. Now, I can tell you my situation. My money was always my money, so I did whatever I wanted with my money, but my husband's money was our money, or the family money. And prior to the economic crisis, I was just one of those wives that just spent as I wanted to. Really never made any serious effort to save. Money was not really an issue in our family. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. And whatever money I had, I spent as I wished. Whatever money I wished to spend of my husband's, I did. And in hindsight, I can see where if I had been a little bit more careful about my selections, the prices, the way I shopped, where I shopped, I may have not contributed to the problem as much as we did. Also, back at that time, we bought into the concept of using debt to leverage debt to purchase assets. So instead of using cash and not utilizing credit as much. So again, that was lack of knowledge or going along with the way of the time. And so that, if you're one of those, then again, that's correctable. There are lots of things that are correctable within this forum, and there's some that you really will need help. So there is going to be a survey. Now, if you've not yet had your initial 30-minute call with me, that needs to be scheduled. And on this page will be a place for you to communicate with me, and you can send for a request to have a meeting time with me. So everybody in this program gets at least their initial 30-minute call with me. We'll have other calls, but that initial one, just to kind of get a quick assessment. But before you call me, you needed to have completed this upfront survey. So go ahead and download the survey, write it out or type it out on your computer, and have it printed and ready. Send it to me ahead of time. When I get it, we'll schedule an appointment for about a week after, so I get some time to look at it, and then we'll have our chat, okay? So if you haven't already had the chat, make sure that gets scheduled, and the link for the survey should be somewhere on this page, probably below this video. That is actually step one. There are other pieces that you can go ahead and do in the meantime if you're anxious to get started. But I promise you, things will become more clear as we go along. You may or may not have already gotten your Equifax DebtWise software. You heard about it in the initial videos or in some earlier time that I may have spoke with you, or some other earlier videos. And if you have already gotten it, perfect, fine, that's wonderful. You're going to have to get it somewhere between now and week 3. And if you want to go ahead and get it, the link will be here for you. You can go ahead, get it, get your report. And if you have it already done, then you can include that. But I'm not sure how much of that will get addressed in that first 30-minute call, but by all means, that's something you can go ahead and take care of in the meantime. So this initial week, I want you to be thinking, talking to family members. You'd be surprised how much they've observed that has gone right over your head. But be really open and honest and thinking about what brought you, what are all the pieces. This is not a blame game now. This is not pointing the finger. That's not what this is for. And in all the process, even if you're saying it's your wife lost her job or this person sued you, I want you to also be thinking of what could you have done differently. So I want you to also take some responsibilities for whatever has caused the situation. If a breadwinner died, whatever the case is, document it, acknowledge it, think it through, but at the same time, think as well, because there'll be one of those questions. How could you have contributed to improving the situation or not making it be as bad as it was? Or what can you begin to think about that you can take pieces of control? Because you can't control everything, but there are some things that you can, okay? And for whatever it is that you can control, that's all we can do. We can control what we can control, but we cannot control the outcome. We can control ourselves, we can control our thoughts, we can control our actions, we can control our responses, but we cannot control the response from others, the outcome of our actions, the consequences of our actions. I can decide to do A, but I cannot control how you will react to A, kind of a thing like that. So that's your homework for this week. So it's going to be complete the survey. Make sure you have your appointment scheduled with me and your survey submitted ahead of time. And if you wish, you can go ahead and get your Equifax debt-wise, but if you don't get it today, that's fine. But you will be getting it between now and week 3. That's going to be mandatory. It's a mandatory first step. It's a mandatory step, not first step, but it's a mandatory step inside of this workshop. All right. So I will see you either in our conversation together in our 30-minute call or next week in the next video. Thank you.